You ready?
Whenever you are.
Okay, we are live. Okay. Hold on. Video.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Doniphan High School football. This is Keith Bowman, and Don's at home tonight for the first home game of the season against the Charleston Bluejays. As you can see right now, the captains are at midfield having a coin toss to see who's going to get the ball first. Don's come in 0-2. Charleston is 1-1 on the season. Don's coming off a loss last week at Thayer, 50-19, but they had a good second half. They only got outscored 14-13. So they kind of ended the game on a positive note, and hopefully that'll carry over here tonight. The first two games of the season, they have struggled mightily in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter and the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. If they can get off to a good start and get a stop on defense when they're on defense and can move the ball on offense, it will help a whole lot. And they've just had trouble in the first 5 minutes of the first and the third quarters, and that's kind of got them in a hole right off the start. And who won the toss?
I don't know who won the toss.
Oh, they haven't told yet who won the toss. Okay.
I didn't see whether they deferred or not.
Yeah,
Doniphan is getting it all.
No, they're going to kick off, aren't they? Okay. All right, the Dons are going to have the ball first. And the kicker for Charleston is the biggest player they have on the field. His name is James Durden, number 22. He'll tee it up at the 40-yard line. I was watching him in the warm-ups, and most of the time he got it out there about 40 yards or so. So we'll see what his opening kick is. The Dons will send Trey Mills, and
back to receive for the Doniphan Dons is
Jordan White looks like back deep. They'll stand at about the 15-yard line.
Jordan White.
And we are set for football. And there's a nice crowd on hand for the Dons home opener. And hopefully we'll get off to a good start tonight. Durden tees it up at the 40-yard line. Charleston wearing white uniforms with black or white tops with black pants and blue numbers. Durden puts it in the air, squibs it down the middle. It bounces up and hits Trey Mills, picks it up. He's got a hole up the middle. He's out to the 40-yard line, and a good return. The Dons will have it at about the 42, 43-yard line. That ball bounced right back in his hands. Sometimes a kick like that is hard to handle, but he did a pretty good job after it bounced off his chest. So the Dons will have good field position. And we'll see. It looks like Alex Harris is going to start at quarterback. And I noticed that Tristan Gettings, who got hurt last week at Thayer, is not dressed out tonight. Jordan White will be in the backfield along with Trey Mills and Alonzo Rios. Harris will start out under center. They've marked the ball at the 41-yard line. Harris hands it off up the middle, and going out to about the 44-yard line is going to be Jordan White, and he got about 3 yards on the play. That'll make it 2nd down and 7. The Dons have a much bigger offensive line, except for a couple of players, than Charleston does, but Charleston is definitely going to be quicker, so the Dons are going to have to get off the ball quick if they're going to run the ball and also protect Alex Harris when he drops back to pass. Harris rolls out to the left side, pitches it, and the ball behind Trey Mills, and the ball's loose on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by Charleston. And the first two games, the turnovers have killed them. That ball was picked up by number 16, Suave Fitzpatrick. And the Dons actually had gotten a pretty good play on the first play, and the pitch was behind the running back, Trey Mills, and he was not able to handle it, so the Dons turn it over. And that's what I've been talking about. That's not a good start. Got to take care of the football. They have had multiple turnovers in the first two games, and they haven't created very many themselves, and that is a disaster, recipe for disaster. Charleston quarterback is going to be T.J. Williams. He is a senior, and the running back is number 20. Is that 21? That is Moses Wells.
That means give him 25.
And they're going to set up in a shotgun. Two wide receivers left, one right. And Williams will take the snap. And he hands it off. He fakes it. Now he's fumbled it. And Charleston gets on top of it. They actually got to gain a yard or two. Well, getting in there quickly was Jordan White to get a hand on that ball as Williams faked the handoff and kept it himself. And the ball was fumbled forward. And it's going to be on the 37-yard line. So they picked up about a yard on the fumble. So it'll be 2nd and 9. And the running back, Wells, kind of knocked it out of Williams' hand. Snap back. He dropped back to pass. He's rushed. He's going to throw it deep down the field. And the pass. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, they throw a flag on that. That's got to let him play a little bit. My goodness, that pass wasn't even catchable anyway. That was way over his head.
I mean, now that was a penalty, so instead of 25. It was,
Let's see if they call interference or holding.
no, it was pass interference.
They're going to call interference. That ball wasn't even catchable. If you're in college or the pros, they don't call that because the ball's not catchable. But they're going to call it, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Dons. That's another thing that's hurt them in the first couple of games, too.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Doniphan.
And the penalty is going to be on Ben Rule. And the receiver, that was number 6, Brian Visor, he had no chance catching that ball. But the penalty nonetheless, and that'll move the ball up to about the 18-yard line. Pitch out to Wells, and nice tackle there behind the line of scrimmage.
And a nice tackle.
And that was
number 17,
Alonzo Rios gets him for about a 4 or 5 yard loss as the Dons done a nice job of stringing that out. And Wells had no place to go. He couldn't get it around the corner, and the Dons have had trouble with the defensive end getting in too far. But that time, Rios come up and made a nice play. That's going to make it 2nd and 14. Ball back at the 22-yard line. Williams sets up in the shotgun. Takes a snap, rolls out to the right. Looking to pass, and he is going to throw it into the end zone. It's intercepted. And that is Trey Mills with the interception, and he's going to run it back out to about the 20-yard line, 21-yard line. So nice job there by the Dons as they gave it up on the fumble on offense, and the defense gets it right back as an interception about the goal line, and he brings it back to the 20-yard line, and the Dons will take over. So the team's trade turnovers the first 2 possessions. Williams underthrew that one pretty badly. Then the first pass he threw was overthrown pretty badly, so the Dons get it back. So Harris back in the game with White and Mills in the backfield.
When they explained it, then it really is.
Pitch to Rios. Nope, he keeps it himself and hands it to Trey Mills, and he's going to get up to the 30, and that'll be close to a first down. Looks like he might be a yard or 2 short, but about an 8-yard gain. As they faked me out on that one. I thought he pitched that to Rios. They handed off to Trey Mills. Trey Mills had a good ball game last week. He did a good job running the ball, had a fantastic catch just outside the goal line to set up one of the Dons' touchdowns. 2nd down and 2. Ball at the 30 of the Dons. Harris pitches to, and we got another flag. And again, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. They get a good play on the first play of 8-yard gain, and now it's going to move them back 5. And 2nd and 2, a lot easier to get than 2nd and 7. Oh, they're going to call it on them. They must have been offsides, huh?
Whoa, maybe. Okay, so that's a first down?
I didn't see. Yeah, it is a first down.
Yep, I guess it was offside. I never seen the official give the signal for what it was. But anyway, it's a 5-yard penalty on Charleston, so the Dons have it first down at the 35. Harris fakes the handoff. Now he gives it off to, I believe that's Jordan White.
No. In fact, a little bit of a loss. Bluejays swarmed our runner there.
I couldn't tell even who got the ball there. Rios. And he lost a couple of yards on the play, about 3 it looks like. That quickness of the defensive line got in there they're up and past the offensive lineman before they can get up and get a body on them. So 2nd and 13. And Harris is going to keep it and quarterback sneak it back up to about the 36-yard line. Actually, last week, that was one of the best running plays the Dons could run was a quarterback sneak. So that's going to get it up to the 36, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 9. The Dons at their own 36-yard line.
About 8 yards to go.
Probably going to have to put it up in the air this time. Don's offensive line can keep it off Alex Harris. Maybe he can find a receiver and move the chains here. Got Ben Rule out here wide to the left. And he is wide open, but Harris didn't see him. He's going to run it himself, and he's not going to get the first down. He's only going to pick up about a yard, but Ben Rule was wide open. As the defensive back on this side just let him go, and the safety didn't get over there. That's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Dons will punt. Alonzo Rios will set up back at about the 25-yard line.
4th down and 7 for Doniphan.
Well, it's a shame he hadn't seen him because he was wide open.
We're going to get up there. Uh-oh. Is that better? Can you see better? Electricity went out. You scared me to death. Sorry.
Snap back, short hop. Rios just barely got it off, but it's going to be a good punt. And he's going to get a big bounce, and it's going to bounce all the way down to about the 21-yard line and go out of bounds. And that's, a 29-13. That's a 42-yard punt with the roll. And they almost blocked it, so the Dons are going to have to really watch that the next time they punt the football because they had 4 guys coming hard, and they almost got it. But a good punt by Rios. And Charleston will take over at they mark it at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 on their own 22. As the sun's starting to set here, and lights are on, start to take effect here shortly. And Williams in the shotgun. We used to never see this in high school football, but boy, almost everybody runs the shotgun, even if they run the football a lot. Man in motion. Snap back to Williams, and they're going to run a trick play. They're going to try to. They're going to throw it. The running back's going to throw it, and almost intercepted again as the pass was intended for Antonio Chappell. And Ben Rule almost intercepted it.
Ben Rule bringing up 2nd down, 10 yards.
They handed it off to the running back or one of the wide receivers, and he come around and threw it. The Dons run that play a couple times last week. Pass is incomplete, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. We got 6:35 to go in the first quarter, so the Dons have made it halfway through this first quarter without giving up any points. And that's the first time this year they've been able to do that. And we got illegal procedure called on number. Is that number 6 out there? Brian Visor. Jordan White jumped off, but evidently he flinched, and the offense cannot move once they get set unless they're going in motion. And he's trying to tell the coach he didn't do anything, but, I mean, you can't even hardly move a hand down there. So that'll move it back to the 17-yard line and make it 2nd and 15 for Charleston. Williams takes a snap, rolls over to the left side, and he's trying to pitch it, but he is tackled for a loss again. And that looked like that was Alonzo Rios again, I believe. And he tackled him in the backfield for another loss back to about the 13-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long. They've got to get out to the almost 33-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 19 or 3rd and 20. And the Dons doing a good job of getting back in the backfield. We'll see what Williams decides to do here on 3rd and 20. Fakes a handoff, rolls to the right, and another penalty. And that's going to be they're calling an illegal procedure against Charleston again. And that'll make it 3rd and 25. And they just keep moving them back. And if they can hold them here, they should bring up a punt and be able to get good field position.
Against Charleston. bringing the ball back even farther.
Okay. So
Williams faked the handoff, and then he rolled out to the right and was
Bring it up.
looking down the field. They got to get it out to the 33-yard line for a first down.
33 yards to go.
And the ball is at the 8-yard line.
just keep it good because we want to follow the play. I think.
Snap back to Williams.
Ready? Follow that.
Throws it, overthrows the receiver as he overshot
Pass incomplete.
Blessing Kimball. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 25. And the Dons did hold here, and they'll have to punt. And they should be able to get really good field position because they're going to be actually kicking the ball from around the goal line. And it's going to be Trey Mills back to field the punt. And their kicker is number 66,
They're not too confident they're going to kick.
Nick Crizzle.
Crystal is the kicker back to receive.
And it's a bad snap, and the ball partially blocked. And the ball's going to bounce
Somebody got their hands
and picked
on it.
up by
Number 2.
Gavin Thompson, and he is slung to the ground. But the Dons are going to have great field position. I don't know who got a hand on that. Was that McGuire
It looks like
Balkin?
Doniphan is going to start.
It looked like McGuire Balkin might have got a hand on that, and it didn't go very far. Dons great field position at the Charleston 28. Well, they've got a real good chance here to get on the scoreboard first. We got 5 minutes and 40 seconds left first quarter, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dons at the Charleston 28-yard line. Alex Harris still in at quarterback. Trey Mills, Jordan White, and Lonzo Rios in the backfield. Harris hands it to Mills. Mills goes up the middle, and a good gain as he's going to get down inside the 25-yard line. Got about 4 or 5.
A nice hole by the Doniphan front line, helping Trey Mills.
And the tackle was made, I believe, by number 22, James Durden.
Down and
they're going to mark it at the 23-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5. And we've got a timeout called here
No, just put it on
with 5:14 to go in the first quarter. And Dons made a good defensive stand. Actually, Charleston went backwards with a couple of tackles for loss and a couple of penalties. And were able to get a hand on the punt and got the ball at the 28-yard line. And they get it for 5 yards on the first down from Trey Mills. Well, the Dons moving the ball a little bit on the ground here early in the ball game.
Still get tickets for the raffle for
The fumble, the first possession cost them the ball, but they took it right back on an interception by Trey Mills. Well, Trey Mills has been in the middle of everything so far on both sides of the ball. As I said last week, he had a really good game for the Dons. Probably if I'd have picked the player of the game, it would have been him last week. Well, after the timeout, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Dons. And Dylan Hall playing center this week with Tristan Gettings not just out after he got hurt last week over there. The other linemen are Scott Hall.
2nd down for Doniphan. 5 to
I
go.
believe.
And we're set up on the 24-yard line.
Eli Burke.
5 minutes
And I'll pick up the other one here in a minute.
First quarter.
Harris is going to keep it himself, and he is hit, and he falls forward for a couple of yards down to about the 21-yard line.
Hit at the line.
They've got to get to the just inside the 19-yard line for a first down, so it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 3. And this might be where that quarterback sneak comes in handy. Nolan Zerwanka brings the play in. London Woods also on the offensive line for the Dons. And Dawson Bishop. Alex Harris under center. Rios in motion. He gets the snap, hole up the middle, all the way down to the inside the 10-yard line, and a big first down for the Dons. And the Dons have opened up some big holes so far, and they're going to spot at the 9-yard line. The Dons will have a first and goal with 4:25 left in the first quarter.
First and goal.
That's kind of a bad place to end up with. That's got to go. You can't get another first down, and you still got to go almost 10 yards. But I'm sure right now the Dons will take it.
Yeah, I'd say 9.
Dons rush up to the ball. Harris is going to quarterback sneak, and I think we got a penalty on the Dons. Nope, timeout called by Coach Stout before the snap.
And timeout called by Doniphan.
We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
Yep. We'll zoom in.
And ladies and gentlemen, Doniphan for football are selling chance.
Purchasing one of those for the season or for 4 years.
All right, the Dons with a first and goal at the 9-yard line of the Charleston Bluejays, looking to take the lead early in this one. 4:04 to go in the first quarter. Alex Harris takes a snap, quarterback sneak, and he is going to be hit about the line of scrimmage. He might have got a little bit there, but I don't think so. And that was the play they were actually trying to run before Coach Stout got the timeout, and they stuck with it, but they didn't get much on it, if anything. Now they're going to spot it at the 9-yard line, so it's still second and goal from the 9 now. Nolan Zawalka comes in with a play. Coach Stout uses his wide receivers to bring the plays in and out. They moved that ball all the way over to the left hash mark. They were kind of in the middle of the field last play. Harris hands it off to Rios, and he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. And boy, I don't know. We'll see here. We got 3rd and 9. The Dons have not attempted a field goal all year. And they might have given him a yard.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
They got it up, I believe, at the 8-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 8. And the Dons in 2 plays have only got 1 yard. And the play clock already down to 17, and the play just now being brought in by Gavin Thompson. And they're going to have to get up to the line in a hurry here. You don't want to lose any more yards with a penalty. Harris comes to the line with 5 seconds on the clock. He gets it off in time, pitches to Rios over on the right side, and he's going to be tackled at about the 8-yard line. So the Dons got inside the 10, and they stayed right there. And we'll see what the Dons are going to. They're going to try to kick a field goal here. And is that Rios is going to try to kick the field goal and put the Dons up. It's going to be about a 23-yard field goal. And the ball snapped back, kick is up, and it is no good. It misses wide left. He had plenty of leg on it, that's for sure, but he just hooked it to the left. So the Dons get down there and can't do anything with it, but at least they did move the ball in that possession a little bit. So we got 1:49 left in the first quarter. And Charleston will take over.
They'll take over on about the 7-yard line. 1st and 10, Charleston.
And I'm not sure in high school if they take over where they kick the ball from or where the 9-yard line or the 8-yard line. Okay, so Charleston would take over on their own 8-yard line. So the Dons get another defensive stand here, force another punt, they can get good field position again. They keep Charleston down in this end of the field, they can keep getting good field position on their punts. Well, Williams will take the snap at about the goal line. Hands it off, and that is Wells, and I believe he's going to lose yardage on that. It looked like they got a hold of him behind the line of scrimmage, and he's only going to get it up to the 5 or 6 yard line. That's going to be a loss of a couple of yards. And they're going to mark it right at the 5, so that's going to be 2nd down and 13.
On the play. Wells, the ball carrier, stopped with
Dons again, nice job on the defensive side here.
Bringing up 2nd
and we're down to 1:15 to go in the first quarter, no score. And Charleston with the ball, 2nd and 13 from their own 5 yard line. Man in motion. Williams hands it off, and the big man, Durden, gets it this time. Boy, he's a load. He is a fullback,
ball carrier,
and he's going to get out to about the 12 yard line.
Number 22.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
For Charleston, bringing up 3rd down and 6 yards for Charleston.
This will probably be the last play of the first quarter. As Williams looking at a wristband to see what play he's going to run here. He sets up in the shotgun. 3rd down and 6. Man in motion. He hands it to Durden again, and they tackle him right at behind the line of scrimmage. And another good job by the Dons. And they're going to force another punt. They lost a couple of yards on that. And Charleston has not been able to run the ball at all yet. And they're going to let the clock run out. And we've played 1 quarter here at Doniphan, and the Charleston Bluejays and the Doniphan Dons, no score. And hopefully Dons will be receiving a punt here when we come back to start the second quarter. So no score at the end of the first quarter, the Bluejays and the Dons. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Keith Bowman back at Doniphan High School, where the Dons and the Charleston Bluejays play scoreless first quarter. The Dons defense has looked really good here in the first quarter, and they will get the ball back. Charleston punting out of their own end zone again. And again, it will be Nick Crizzle punting. And the Dons don't have anybody back right now. I don't know if they think they're going to fake it or what. Trey Mills is starting to drop back now. He'll be punting from about the goal line. The last one they punted from the other end out of the end zone was partially blocked, and the Dons got it at the 28. And this one is kicked high in the air. Coming up the field it is Mills, and he is bumped. He called for a fair catch. I'm kind of surprised they didn't throw a flag on that, but the Dons great field position again at the 34-yard line of the Bluejays. That was about a 26-yard punt. He got it up in the air, and Mills couldn't return it. He called for a fair catch. So the Dons will have the offensive possession starting at Charleston's 34-yard line. They got down to the 8-yard line a while ago, had a 1st and goal at the 9 and couldn't push it in and missed a field goal. I will say it just barely missed wide left as Rios got it up there good, but it just missed a little bit left. So they're going to try it again. And Harris is going to set up in the shotgun. I believe this is the first time tonight. And he takes a snap, drops the ball, and has to fall on it. And those kind of plays just kill you because you're already behind the chains. That's about a 4-yard loss.
Harris falls on the ball.
And it's going to be 2nd and 14. You got a 1st and 10. Well, they mark it at the 32, so 2nd and 13. But you got a 1st and 10, and now you have a 2nd and 13 just because I don't know if the snap was that bad or not, but it didn't look like it was on the ground. So Harris will set up in the shotgun again, so they need to get a few of these yards back here on 2nd down. Charleston looks like they're going to blitz the quarterback here over on this left side, and they do send somebody to pass out on the left flat is at the feet of the receiver, and Harris threw a bad pass there to Trey Mills. He had no chance of catching that.
That's going to bring up 3rd down.
It seems like to me Mills has trouble throwing off of the run. If he gets his feet set, he throws pretty good, but again, 3rd down again now after the incomplete pass. Just underway in the 2nd quarter. We've got 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go till halftime. No score. Harris will get back under center. The Dons are in a position where if they don't get it, they'll probably go for it. They do that quite a bit. Trey Mills takes the handoff and gets down to about the 35, so he only gets a yard or two.
Ball carrier number 33, Trey Mills for Doniphan.
We'll see if Coach Stout wants to go for it. With them being this far deep in Charleston territory, I wouldn't be surprised. And when your defense is playing good like the Dons have so far, you can kind of take some chances. Even if they don't get it, Charleston's only going to have the ball at the 35. The only thing bad about it is that's the best field position they've had since the start of the game. Trey Mills in motion. Harris dropped back to pass. He's being blitzed. Pass out to Trey Mills, and he threw it before he come out of his cut, and it's incomplete. And we got an illegal procedure penalty against the Dons. That's going to back them up even more. It's going to be 4th down and 16. Let's see if Coach Stout still goes for it. I'd kind of like to see him punt it and back them up down around the goal line again because the Dons have gotten great field position the last 2 times because they've had to punt out of their end zone.
After a 5-yard penalty.
But it looks like they're going to go for it.
4th down, 15.
If they don't get it, they're going to have the ball at the 40-yard line, and that's going to flip the field position that the Dons have had the benefit of in their favor so far. Charleston looking to blitz again. They do. Harris is going to throw it deep, and it's going to be too far. And we got a flag down. Oh, that may have bailed them out.
What was that?
Flag on the play.
They're going to call defensive pass interference, and that'll give the Dons automatic 1st down. They had a 4th and 16. And that'll move the ball down to, I think that's a 15-yard penalty, move it to the 25. And that Charleston defensive back, and I think that was Blessing Kimball, wasn't it? Or was it number 21? It may have been number 21. That is Moses Wells. He's over on that side, so it probably was him. He's the one wide receiver that had the penalty called on him earlier, and he didn't think he moved. But that's going to give the Dons a 1st down all the way down at the 25-yard line. And they have not moved the sticks yet. Oh, it's going to be 4th and 1, isn't it? It was 15-yard penalty. I thought it was automatic 1st down.
4th down and about.
Not in high school? Oh, well, all right, well, the Dons only got to get 1 yard now on 4th down. And you're going to see a quarterback sneak right here, I'd almost bet. And they do, and it looks like they're going to push him down far enough to get the 1st down, hopefully. See where they spot it. And it looks like he got inside the marker. Oh, that was a big penalty on Charleston. 4th and 16, and Charleston gets a 15-yard penalty to give the Dons a 4th and 1, and they convert to get the 1st down. And they've got it at the 23-yard line now of the Charleston Bluejays. Again, got a chance to score first in this game. We're down to 9:55 left in the first half, and neither team has dented the scoreboard yet. The Dons have come the closest, missing a field goal. Well, 1st and 10, Harris in the shotgun with Jordan White. Jordan White takes the snap. He's looking deep. He throws it way up in the air, and it's intercepted. That is just that's a jump ball is all that is. And they have some athletes, and he just out-jumped the Dons to intercept it, and Charleston will take over.
Charleston, number 4, making the interception for the Blue Jays.
Almarion Williams.
Now we're going to...
So they intercepted down at the 6-yard line. So even though there was an interception, the Dons got a chance again to get a stop on defense and make them punt out of their end zone if they can keep stopping them. So that's the second turnover on the Dons. Charleston has 1. Williams takes the snap. He's going to throw it down the sideline to Kimball, and Kimball slips and falls, but I don't think he would have caught it anyway.
Pass incomplete.
Out at the 30-yard line. He was being covered by Gavin Thompson.
Number 9. Bringing up second down now for the Blue Jays.
Second down 10 from the 6-yard line.
Territory.
TJ Williams, the quarterback, has been in the shotgun every play so far for Charleston. And Kimball is about 6'4" or 6'5", because I remember him from the basketball team. He's being guarded by Gavin Thompson, and he definitely got the height advantage. And TJ Williams is going to fake the pass and then take it up the middle, and I think he's going to lose about a yard.
Williams keeping the ball.
And we had a penalty.
Receiver downfield. And Doniphan defense there. Looks like there's a flag on the field.
That's got to be holding or something on us. Down there.
Oh, they're going to pick the flag up. They threw a flag, but they're going to pick it up. And it probably was because the quarterback took off running. I think it was going to be on the Dons, holding on the Dons defensive back, but when he took off running, the receiver, that wouldn't be holding. It'd be like he was a blocker then. So it is third down and 11, I believe. And we're going to have another timeout. This one called by Charleston. And the Dons again have a chance to stop them and make them punt out of their own end zone. Will be the third time here in the second quarter, or third time in the game. Dons defense has stood tall here so far in the game tonight. And they have gotten down close to scoring a couple times, but hasn't been able to get on the board yet. But as long as Charleston doesn't score, they can keep them from scoring. They got a real good chance. And as long as they can keep them way down around their goal line, they're going to keep getting good field position if they force the punt.
I'm not too sure that's should have.
Dons came into this game losing their first 2 games, and Charleston was 1-1. They had beaten Portageville and they lost to Hayti.
It's probably right. Because that penalty wasn't announced. I don't get it.
So TJ Williams in the shotgun, back about a yard deep in the end zone. And it'll be 3rd and 13. He takes the snap. He's going to throw it long out to Kimball, and he's got behind the defense, and he catches it. And that's going to be a first down. The Dons defensive backs are just not tall enough to keep up with Blessing Kimball. He is just too big if the throw's anywhere close. And that brings the ball out to the 48-yard line, so that gets Charleston out of a big hole. And the Dons really don't have any tall defensive backs. They might need to put Trey Mills over on Kimball and move one of them, the other ones, to safety, because they can't guard him if the throw's anywhere close. Hand off to Wells, and he fumbles the ball. It's back towards the 30-yard line, and the Dons trying to fall on it, and I believe they do. As that is Moses Wells. That's the second turnover by Charleston now. And the Dons catch a real big break there after the big play by Charleston. The Blue Jays turn the ball over, and it is all the way down at the 25-yard line. And the Dons right there on the doorstep again. And their defense, other than that one long pass play, has played great here in the first half.
25-yard line for Doniphan.
Alex Harris under center.
Stay on that. You're on follow the play.
Hands it off up the middle to Rios, and he's going to get a couple of yards. He's going to be tackled by the big boy, James Durden.
The ball carrier gaining a couple of yards for Doniphan.
Be 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8 to go.
Clock winding down to 8:25 left in the first half. Rios has carried the ball quite a bit here tonight. Up until this game, he hadn't had all many touches running the ball. Harris hands it off to Mills going the other way. He's got to open a hole down to the 10-yard line. Good gain. That's going to put the Dons at, if that's inside the 10 or at the 10, it's going to be 1st and goal. And there they are again at that long ways away from the end zone, and they can't get another first down. They're going to spot it right on the 10, so that's going to make it 1st and goal. That's the second time the Dons have had a 1st and goal here in the first half. Good run by Trey Mills. They run that little misdirection play, and he had a big hole. Harris hands it off to Rios, and was that another fumble? Oh, it was. That ball was fumbled again, and neither team wants to score, it doesn't look like. I think that was Rios coughed that one up, and it went all the way down to about the 5-yard line again, so Charleston gets it right back. The first time in the game back in the first quarter, both times, each team had the ball, they both turned it over. And now we have back-to-back turnovers turning it over to each other here again. And now they do move Trey Mills out on the receiver this time. 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line of the Charleston Bluejays. TJ Williams takes a snap, hands it off, and that is the big boy Durden. And boy, they're having a hard time getting him down, but he doesn't gain any yards. They string it out to the left side, and he did not get any yards. I think it'll be a 2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and 11.
Also number 2, Gavin Thompson, helping make the stop.
They had him in the backfield down close to the end zone, but he is a load.
And maybe a loss of a yard, so 11 yards to go.
Well, they got Mills over on Blessing Kimball now. Mills is a little bit taller, so. Williams in the shotgun. Play clock down to 6. Gets the snap. They're going to try it again. And that one thrown out too far out in front of him.
That's incomplete.
And he had about a half a step on Trey Mills, but Mills probably be able to get up there and maybe knock those passes away a little bit better.
Bring up 3rd down and 11 to go for the Bluejays.
They'll probably do that a lot tonight. Just have Kimball run straight down the field and see if they can't throw it and him go up and get it over the shorter Doniphan defenders. That makes it 3rd and 11. And again, they get a stop here. They're going to make them punt it out of their own end zone. Dons haven't been able to capitalize on that yet here in the first half. And we got a penalty. Delay a game on Charleston. That's going to move them back half the distance to the goal. And that'll make it 3rd and probably 13. They'll move it back to the 2.5, 3-yard line.
Because it's a penalty. It says penalties are 25.
Did they go up? They got a timeout, I guess, before the penalty. He's picking it up. So Charleston called a timeout, so it will be 3rd and 11.
So that's a timeout right now.
And we're still scoreless with 6:46 left in the first half. Don's looking to make them punt it again here if they can get a stop. Got to keep an eye on Blessing Kimball as they haven't even attempted to pass anybody else yet. And they've only completed one, but it was a long one.
Well, see, when you get a first down, you stop the clock. Okay? Then when the down box is set, I guess
the ball will be at the 5-yard line. They've got to get out to the 16
well, you have to.
For a first down, so it will be 3rd and 11.
So you know where your first down is.
Dons have done a fantastic job on defense here in the first half. They must have really worked on that this week.
So I guess that's the flag mark.
After the timeout, Williams back in the shotgun. He's standing at the goal line. Takes a snap, and he's going to hand it off to Durden, and they get him down after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. So the Dons are going to force the punt again.
Hand off to Durden for a little gain.
Nice job again by the Dons. So they'll be forced to punt from around the goal line again. That ball out to about the 8 yard line.
First down.
And we'll be Crizzle back to punt again.
Situation back to receive for Doniphan, number 33, Trey Mills.
Trey Mills back at the 40-yard, out at the 40-yard line. Snap is back, kick is up, and Mills is going to call for a fair catch at the 37, 38-yard line. So for about the 5th possession in a row, the Dons are going to start in Charleston territory as they just keep doing a good job on defense, but the offense hadn't come through, been able to score yet. And sooner or later, Charleston will flip that field, so you need to get on the board here if you can.
Down on that side of the field, forcing them to kick.
.6:02 left. That's plenty of time. Don't get in a hurry. You didn't have to pass.
6 minutes and 2 seconds left. We're halfway through the second quarter.
It's not really good.
Man, look at that hole right up the middle.
Dylan Hall snaps the ball, and it's fumbled again, and Charleston comes up with it. Now there's the field position switch right there. That is the 3rd turnover by the Dons in this first half. And
it looks like Charleston came up
they'll
the ball,
take over at the 36-yard line. And they're having trouble with that center to quarterback snap. And
on the 36-yard line,
Dylan Hall has been playing center tonight, which he took over last week and played much of the game after Tristan Gettings got hurt. But they sure have been having trouble with that tonight. And now Charleston's got a little better field position for the first time. Snap back, rolling out to the right is Williams. They're stringing it out, and there's a penalty flag down, and that's probably a holding call, most likely, on the Bluejays, and it is. The pass was incomplete.
Indicate a holding penalty against Charleston.
And we'll see if Coach Stout wants to move it back or make it a 2nd and 10.
10-yarder.
And
10 yards from the point of foul, so that's actually 25 yards.
And they're going to move it back, and they'll move it from the spot of where the holding took place, and he started at 31, so that's going to move it back to the 21, and that's going to make it, they got to get out to the 46, so that's going to make first down
That penalty
and
spots the
20
ball now on the 21-yard line.
First and
Charleston, we have a timeout.
1st and 26. And we got another timeout called. And the Dons back them up again, and Charleston kind of keeps shooting themselves in the foot as well. Both teams have turned the ball over and had some penalties at crucial times. And we are still scoreless with 5:54 left in the first half.
By the concession stand. Game.
S3.
And as we went along here, the stands have just about filled up on the across from us there. A good crowd here tonight, and this is the first home game of the season for the Dons, and playing well on defense. Still struggling a little bit on offense. They've moved it some, but they've had some turnovers at key times. 1st and 26. And a fake a handoff and a good hole up the middle for the quarterback, T.J. Williams, is going to get it out to the 28-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 7.
It's a gain.
And that should make it 2nd and 18.
Bringing up 2nd down. Looks like a long 18.
The Charleston players have wristbands on for their plays. And Williams, they don't even go to a huddle. He just calls it out. And as back in the backfield is going to be, I think that's Alonzo Rios, and he's going to sack T.J. Williams back inside the 20-yard line. And again, the Dons just keep getting pressure on the quarterback and getting hands on the running backs in the backfield. Another big loss. That's about a 10-yard loss. And they have got 3rd down and a long ways, close to 30 yards.
20, yeah.
You got to get to the 46-yard line, just outside the 46, and they're at the 18, so 28. 3rd and 28. Last time they had this play, they give it to Durden, the big boy, and just let him run it a little bit, see what he could get. They're going to roll out. They're going to have a little short pass to Kimball, and it's down at his feet, incomplete, and the Dons hold again. And that just goes to show you how big penalties are, because they had 1st and 10, and they got a holding penalty back about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and ended up having 1st and 27. And they just went farther back after a sack by Alonzo Rios. And they are forced to punt again, and the Dons should get good field position again. Trey Mills is going to be standing at midfield. And the punt from Crizzle is high in the air again over to the side, and it's going to be out of bounds somewhere around the 50-yard line. They're going to mark it, I think, right at the 50-yard line. So the Dons keep getting good field position, but they have not taken advantage of it yet. They got to quit turning the football over. That's all they got to do. If they quit turning it over, they probably would have already scored a couple of times.
4 minutes, 10 seconds left.
They've been inside the 10-yard line twice of the Bluejays, but have come away with nothing. So they'll try it again with 4:10 to go in the first half. 1st and 10 at midfield.
I don't know. I got to go clarify with him because he keeps.
I really didn't see this coming. I thought it might be a close game, but I didn't really expect it to be scoreless here almost at halftime. Well, maybe the Dons can score here before the half and take a lead into the locker room. Alex Harris hands it to Trey Mills, and he's going to be hit at the 50 and knocked back, and he's going to lose about a yard. That play's worked a couple times, but Charleston sniffed it out that time and got the tackle.
James Durden.
And they're going to mark it a yard loss, so it'll be 2nd and 11. I actually thought the Dons might throw the ball a little bit more tonight, but they haven't thrown it too much. And on 2nd and 11, might be a time to do so. Ben Rule comes out wide to the right. And we also got Rios in the slot to the right. Harris drops back, throws it out to Trey Mills, and he dives and catches it down about the 37-yard line. That's his 2nd diving catch in 2 weeks. And that'll be a 1st down for the Dons. That ball was a little bit underthrown, but a nice job by Mills to adjust and come back and dive. And when you go down in high school, if your knee touches, you're down whether the defense touches you or not. So he was down at the spot, but that is a 1st down. It'll be at the 37-yard line. So that was about a 14-yard gain on the pass play. Jordan White in the backfield with Mills and Rios. Mills in motion. Harris rolls out. Passes to, I think that was Rios, about the 35-yard line. He makes the catch, but he's tackled immediately. About a 2-yard gain from Harris to Rios.
Again, the combination Harris.
2nd down and 8. Clock winding down to 2:40 left in the first half.
2nd down and 8 for Doniphan.
Dons need to get rolling a little bit here. They're taking an awful lot of time between plays. They're still 35 yards away from the end zone. They need a big play, a big run or a big pass. Jordan White's going to fade back to pass this time. He's going to keep it. He's going to get back down to the 35, no gain. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Harris back to pass.
From the 35-yard line.
So then he ran up the field.
Nolan Zawonka comes in with a play, gives it to Alex Harris. Jordan White lined up at quarterback that time.
8 to go.
Minute 50 left first half. Don still at the 35-yard line. 3rd down and 8. He fades back to pass. Throws it in the middle, wide open, and another diving catch. Nope, they're going to say it hit the ground. And that was Mason Day, almost come up with a great catch, but the ball was a little bit behind him and low, and he couldn't adjust to get it.
Receiver, just a little bit low, calling it incomplete.
So the Dons, I guess, will go for it on 4th and 8. They run that same play again. They had 2 guys wide open in the middle of the field. The pass was just a little bit off. And they're finding some holes in that Charleston defense. You just got to, sometime or another, you got to make a play.
Doniphan's going to go for it.
Right now is when they need to do it. They don't want to give Charleston the ball back because they got that big, tall, wide receiver. Harris is going to throw it deep, and we got a flag downfield. And that's got defensive holding, I think. Is that an automatic first down in high school? Defensive holding?
15 yards.
Looks like a holding
first down.
call.
The last time it wasn't because we were 16.
That was pass interference. He called holding on that one. We'll see here what they do. They're not moving the chains.
That should be a 15-yard penalty.
A 10-yard penalty. That'll be a first down then.
That'll be a first down.
I apologize. 10-yard penalty for holding.
That's a first down. That puts the ball at the 25 with 1 minute and 34 seconds left. So again, Charleston had the ball. The pass was incomplete. If they hadn't committed a penalty, they would have had the ball, but the Dons get to keep it 25 yards away from the end zone. Minute and a half to go, first half. Harris is going to drop back to pass, and he's hit as he throws. The ball is going to be caught right at the line of scrimmage by Alonzo Rios. And they would have been better off if he'd let that drop because it would have stopped the clock. Now the Dons are going to have to use a timeout. If he'd let that drop, the clock would have stopped on the incomplete pass. But you don't think of those things when you're out there playing.
That's a personal foul on them.
Well, they actually put.
And penalty against Charleston.
Well, they're marking off 5 yards against Charleston. I didn't see what the call was, but must have been offsides. 5 yards. So the Dons get 5 yards on it, and they'll still have first down. Well, they keep inching closer by virtue of the penalties on Charleston.
5-yard penalty
down at the 21-yard line.
For Doniphan.
I think they only give them 4 yards on that because they got the first down marker at the 25-yard line. Pass out to Mills, and he's going to throw it down to the end zone and tackle at the 6-yard line.
Oh, flag on the play.
I bet he threw that pass forward. I bet he was in front of the line of scrimmage. He threw it out to Trey Mills in the flat, and then Mills threw it down. It didn't look like it was a backward pass. I hope it was. Maybe another penalty on Charleston. Wow, that was a good play. They actually threw 2 passes on that play. Mills threw it out, or Harris threw it to Mills out on the right side, and he was behind the line of scrimmage, and then he hit Rios down at the 8-yard line. So we still got 1:14 to go, and I don't think the Dons have any timeouts left. This is the 3rd time they've been inside the 10-yard line. Harris gives it to Mills. He breaks a tackle, headed for the end zone. He gets inside the 5. And he picks up about 4 yards. And I don't think the Dons have any timeouts left. They're going to have to rush it up here.
Look real good.
Maybe they do have one left.
Patrick brought him down.
They do have 1 timeout left. The clock's still running.
Oh, they got a timeout.
Okay.
And we've got a timeout on the field.
He didn't even signal for that, did he? I didn't see him.
See it. They just started walking off. Shoot, we probably lost 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Our team.
Yeah, it's probably about 5 seconds.
Well, I told you.
So the Dons will have it at the They mark it at the 5-yard line, so that's as close as they've been in this first half. And I'm almost sure that's their last time out of the first half. And they are 5 yards away from taking the lead in this game. If they don't get in the end zone, they've got to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage if they don't have any timeouts left. If it's a running play, the clock will not stop. And we'll see what Coach Stout draws up all in timeout here. The Dons trying to take their first lead of the season here in game number 3. And I can see that crowd over there on the other side is just waiting to do a bunch of hooping and hollering if they can get this ball in the end zone.
All right, fans, let your players know you want to do good. Here we go.
Harris, and I guess another penalty, and that's probably going to be on the Dons.
And it looks like there's a flag on the play.
I don't even see a flag, do you? Hey, well, now there's one. Oh, did you see that?
What is going on?
I don't know, but I think they're just as confusing here.
Yeah, I think that was the quarterback, T.J. Williams. He run in there and hit Alex Harris while they were all standing around. I never seen a flag come down to begin with. I think the officials are confused as well. We'll have to let them sort it out here and see what's going on. But that was definitely a penalty on T.J. Williams coming there and hitting while everybody's standing around. It was dead ball. And I don't know why he would go in there and do that anyway.
Oh, yeah, Aaron, sorry. Aaron,
You know there wasn't a play going on or the officials wouldn't have been standing there.
Tammy, wait, okay. Which one of you are on our team?
Well, I'm confused.
Which one of you is on our team? Okay, Aaron pinned to the other team.
They must have.
Zoom in, because they just play not showing the work, which stay right there.
I didn't see a flag to come down to begin with, did you?
No, I never saw a flag. That second one was after the.
Yeah, that was a dead ball there.
I thought I saw one and called it. Yeah, I predicted it now, I guess.
Well, I thought they blew a whistle.
Well, they stopped play for some reason or other. I don't know how come,
I
but
thought there was a penalty.
they're going to come over and talk to the Charleston coach. He's already been over talking to Coach Stout.
Stay right there, yeah.
And the ball is at the 5-yard line, so they may waive that penalty off, but I don't know how they could. But I don't think there was a penalty call to start with. I don't know if they had I don't know what happened. But the ball's still at the 5-yard line, and it's second down, and we still got the same situation. The Dons have to get it in the end zone or get back to the line of scrimmage quickly if they run the ball.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't want to get down here this close again and not get in the end zone. I mean, they've got a great chance to take the lead here.
Clock start?
Any penalty assessed? Here we go.
Harris takes a snap, quarterback sneak, and he's not going to get in.
Looks like a quarterback sneak.
And that makes it third down.
Charleston forming a wall there on the line.
They're going to mess around and run out of time here. If they run it again and don't get it in, they're not going to have time to get the field goal unit out there.
Do they not have a timeout?
I don't think, well, they may have one left, but I thought they used them all.
For Doniphan.
It's third and goal. Harris takes a snap, fakes a handoff, and then he hands it off to look like Jordan White, and he's not going to get it in the end zone. And the clock winding down to 8 seconds, 7, and I don't think they have any timeouts left. Well, maybe they do.
He took one there.
Okay, well,
They wait so long.
they can run one more play or they can try to kick a field goal. We'll see what Coach Stout wants to do. So evidently they had one timeout left.
Timeout on the
We have
field.
1 second on the clock.
Did we move it from the 5 or is it's on about the 3 now?
Yeah, matter of fact, it looks like it's about the 1.
Really?
Yeah, it's close.
I'll give them 2.
Coach Stout trying to figure out, I guess, whether he wants to go for it or try a field goal. They tried a field goal earlier,
That's 3.
and Alonzo Rios missed the field goal, but he got awfully close. It looks like the Dons are going to go for it.
The final play of the first half. Doniphan
The
has
Dons
about 2 yards to go.
gonna try to get
into the end zone.
I need you.
We're setting
They're going to
up.
kick a field goal.
Be sure and let your team know that you're going to cheer them on.
Rios is going to try to kick a field goal.
Oh, that's from a odd
Looks like it's going to be a field goal attempt.
Back a little. Go left a little. They're
Rios will kick it from the 10-yard line, so they made a 20-yard field goal attempt, about a 19-yard field goal attempt. He's 0 for 1 so far tonight in this season. And the kick is blocked, and it looked like they were offsides. There wasn't no flag on that? Yeah, there is a flag. I thought he was offsides.
All right, looks like there might be a flag on the play.
Coach Stout might decide to go for it now. They're going to move it half the distance to the goal, and they'll have one more play. Well, he was way offsides. I don't know why he's jumping around.
I'm just wondering.
The ball's going to be down around the 1-yard line. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Stout doesn't decide to go for it now. Let Alex Harris try to quarterback sneak it in.
It doesn't look like he's changed the stick any.
Okay,
They haven't placed the ball yet. Should be half the distance. Should be about 1.5 yards. I think.
Well, I think the Dons are going to go for it instead of trying to kick the field goal now. And Coach Stout's made that decision.
Charleston, so Doniphan gets another try.
It's 4th down. This will be the last play
4th down.
of the first half. Don's trying to score a touchdown.
1.5 yards to go.
And you can probably look for Alex Harris to run a quarterback sneak, even though they do have two wide receivers out to the right. And, boy, there's a lot of the Charleston Bluejays bunched around that line of scrimmage.
And fans, make some noise. Encourage your team here.
All right, Harris is under center. One play here to see if the Dons score. Harris takes the snap, and I don't think he got in. Nope, he didn't get in. And that's good. They knew he was going to do that, and they stacked it up at the line of scrimmage. So a first half of missed opportunities for the Dons as they had the ball inside the 10-yard line at least 3 times, maybe 4 in that first half, and could not push it into the end zone. They missed the field goal earlier and had all kinds of opportunities to score. Charleston has actually been deep in their territory all night long, except for one play. They got out to the 48, and then they proceeded to fumble on the very next play, and the Dons got it back. So both teams have had turnovers, and neither team's got on the scoreboard. And it is 0-0 here at halftime in Doniphan between the Charleston Bluejays and the Doniphan Dons. No score at halftime. And I'm going to take a short break, and we'll be back here with second half action after a bit. Stay with us. Well, welcome back, everybody. Keith Bowman back at Doniphan High School. We're at halftime. The Dons and the Charleston Bluejays in a scoreless tie. Dons had multiple opportunities to get on the scoreboard in that first half and could not get it done. And Charleston stiffened up just about every time the Dons got down there close. And the Dons defense played fantastic in the first half. And they kept Charleston down around the end zone. and was forced to punt several times. Both teams had turnovers, and we stand at 0-0 here at halftime. And we're going to take a break and let you hear from some of the fine folks who sponsor Doniphan football, and we'll be back shortly to get the second half underway.
If you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, you need to make a stop at Countryside Chevrolet on Highway 160 in Doniphan. Countryside has one of the largest Chevrolet selections in the area, plus plenty of pre-owned vehicles that go through a 117-point inspection before they're warranted for 12 months or 12,000 miles. The goal at Countryside is to provide you the best deal on your next car, truck, or SUV. See them online at countrysidechevrolet.com or call 1-800-63-CHEVY. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
You've heard it all before. We're number one. We're the best. We have the biggest rebates. Now is the time to skip the hype and come to Current River Ford in Doniphan. They're all about helping you find the perfect new Ford. Current River Ford services your vehicles after the sale. From the moment you drive in, you will receive the quality service you've been missing. With the selection at Current River Ford, you'll find the new vehicle you want. How about getting your next vehicle at a dealership that makes it all about you? Current River Ford, Highway 160 in Doniphan.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, the Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
The phone booth is your one stop for all your cell phone needs. The phone booth now offers Total Wireless, where you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data for only $35 a month. Need to add more phones to your account? Not a problem. Family plans are also available. You can manage your account in person or online at tpbooth.com. Come see the phone booth next to Subway in Doniphan for all your cell phone needs.
Hometown Pharmacy on LaRue Street in Doniphan, your one-stop pharmacy for all of your medical needs. Our pharmacists are now providing vaccinations for flu, pneumonia, and shingles in the pharmacy. Flu shots are covered by Medicare with no co-payment and no appointment is necessary. Hometown Pharmacy now offers a wide variety of vitamins and supplements from Now Foods that help support and promote optimal health through good nutrition. Refills can be requested online or by using our mobile app. We now offer delivery of your prescription if you live within the city limits. Transferring prescriptions is easy. Come by or give us a call and our friendly staff will take care of everything. Hometown Pharmacy, proudly supporting the Dons and Donettes this season. Come experience the difference a Hometown Pharmacy makes.
Your local Sonic Drive-In in Doniphan is proud to sponsor this year's football games on KYEC. It's happy hour anytime at Sonic. Get half-price drinks and slushes all day long when you download and order ahead using the Sonic app. The crew at Sonic wishes the best of luck to the Dons this season, and remember, every hour is happy hour at your Sonic Drive-In on Washington Street in Doniphan.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Keith Bowman. We're back at Doniphan High School, and we're getting close to the second half kickoff. It will be Charleston's ball, and they should have the best field position they've had all night long. We're scoreless in the first half, and that's the first time since Doniphan started football back last year that they have held the other team scoreless in the first half. The only problem is they've been down close to the end zone 4 or 5 times and not been able to get in or get any points themselves. And Charleston has been backed up all night long, but they will probably get good field position on this kickoff. And when you start changing field position, the game may change. So I wish the Dons would have got a touchdown or two. They probably could have had 3 or 4 scores at this point. And they're going to have to keep playing defense because they did an excellent job in the first half on defense. Both teams had turnovers. I believe the Dons had 3. I think the Dons had 3 and Charleston had 2. Haven't been able to keep track of it, but I believe that's right. But we'll see what happens here at the start of this second half as the Dons looking for their first win in their second season of having football back here at Doniphan High School. And if they don't get a win here tonight, they're going to look back on that first half and say, boy, we had all kinds of chances to score and did not get it in the end zone. They did miss 1 field goal, just narrowly missed a field goal. It was about I think a 19 or 25 yarder, I believe is what it was. Well, Alonzo Rios is going to kick off, and they are going to send Moses Wells, the running back, also number 3, and that is Shamori Douglas. And the quarterback, TJ Williams, is back as well, but the other 2 are the deep men for Alonzo Rios' kickoff. So we are going to have 12 minutes on the clock and get the third quarter underway. No score. I want to thank everybody for tuning into YouTube tonight and remind everybody that all of the home games will be on YouTube. All of our away games will be on KYEC 88.3 FM. And we'll be back here next week as the New Madrid County Central Eagles come calling on the Dons. We got a half to play here and we have no score. And Rios comes up, kicks it deep. And TJ Williams is going to take it at the 20-yard line, trying to get outside, and the Dons do a good job of forcing him out of bounds up at the 31-yard line, and did a pretty good job there. But that is the best field position they've had, except for the one time that they threw the long completed pass to Blessing Kimball, and then on the very next play, they fumbled the ball all the way back to the 21-yard line where the Dons recovered it. So they will mark it at the 31, their own 31, and that's where the Charleston Blue Jays will start here in the second half. TJ Williams still at quarterback, and Moses Wells in the backfield, and Blessing Kimball is out wide on the left side. He's got Trey Mills on him. Williams will take the snap out of the shotgun, rolls over to that side, throws it to Kimball. Nice one-handed catch, but he's not going to get but about 3, maybe 4 yards. But that was a good one-handed catch. Passed it a little bit high. Don's got on him quickly. And they're going to mark it at the 35-yard line. So that was a pickup of 4. And that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, 2nd down and about 6 yards to go.
They're going to try to get that ball to Kimball as much as possible. I knew that coming into the game because I remember him from last year. Now he's going to roll out to the right, pitches, and a nice catch by Wells as he gets it with one hand. But he is stopped after a 2-yard gain, and that was almost another fumble. As Williams having a little bit of trouble with that pitch. And Williams, Moses Wells done a great job catching that with one hand, or that would have been another fumble going back towards the Dons end zone. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The ball's at the 37. And it'll be 3rd and 5.
3rd and about 5.
And Dons trying to get another stop on 3rd down. They've done well tonight. He takes a low snap, rolls out to the right side, Going to throw it deep. And Gavin Thompson with the interception. Oh, he almost had the interception. But it went through his hand. But the Dons do get a stop. That ball was intended for number 16, Suave Fitzpatrick.
And almost got an interception. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5.
Let's see if they're going to go for it here. The punter's not out there yet.
He's probably going to ask for another. Yeah. I don't know. He hasn't done it yet.
Well, I guess they're going to go for it. The punter's not out there. It's 4th and 5. And in their own end of the field, they're going to go for it.
Looks like Charleston's going to go for it.
And it's 4th and 5. They got to get out just outside the 41 for first down. He rolls out to the right side. He hits Kimball. Kimball gets around one tackle, and he's going to get the first down, and he's going to go all the way, the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, and touchdown. Folks, I knew it was coming, and the Dons had him bottled up, but they let him get away, and Charleston takes the lead after being bottled up in their own end all night long. And the Dons had a 4th and 5, but they just could not get him tackled. They had a chance, but once he got past him, he just ran off and left everybody. Yep. And that gives Charleston a 6-0 lead. So the Dons are going to have to score now as the first points of the game with 10:18 to go in the third quarter. So they score quickly on a little less than 2 minutes come off the clock. And the kick is up, and it is good, and that makes the score 7-0.
Good kick. That's going to bring the score. Charleston.
So they, as I said, the Dons had them bottled up, but they couldn't stop them on 4th down, like they had done so many times on 3rd down in that first half. And you keep giving the team so many chances. The Dons had so many opportunities in that first half and didn't get it into the end zone or get any points on the board. And I know when Charleston stopped them on that 4th and 1 at the end of the first half, that had to give them a little momentum going into the locker room at halftime. And the Dons probably were a little dejected they didn't get it in, and Charleston takes advantage of it here to start the third quarter. So they will kick off, and hopefully the Dons will get something going on offense. Most likely, unless they get a good return, they're not going to have the field position they had in the first half. Big man James Durden will kick off.
Doing the kicking honors for Charleston. It's going to be number 22, James Durden.
And Trey Mills. Jordan White will be back deep about the 20-yard line.
To number 28, Jordan White.
Trey Mills has done a pretty good job returning kicks and running the ball tonight. And actually, Mills done a nice job last week, too. Durden will kick it from the 40-yard line. Takes a couple steps, kicks it deep, and they're going to have to go back and get it. You better go get it. That's not going to go in the end zone. Mills has to pick it up. He gets out to the outside, and he's going to get out to the 30, 35, 40, and a little past the 40-yard line. And that ball, that was almost a disaster because that ball didn't go into the end zone. And if they kick it down there and you don't touch it and it don't go in the end zone and they get it, it's their ball. So Mills with a great return, though, from about the 5-yard line out to the 43-yard line. So the Dons actually do have pretty good field position. Actually, it's a 42-yard line, so that was about a 37-yard return. And the Dons need to get the ball moving this drive right here. They don't need to wait, because you get back into that old thing and thinking, here we go again. Alex Harris under center. Hands it off to Rios. And he's going to get a couple up to about the 44.
Doing a stop.
Bring up 2nd and 8.
Bluejays, number 30, Davis.
They give him 2 yards on the carry. And again, I say there's a nice crowd on hand over on the bleachers across from it. They're almost full. People sitting in lawn chairs too, down in the end zone the way the Dons are going, and on the sideline as well. This time Gavin Thompson gets the handoff, and he's tackled back at the original line of scrimmage.
Several Charleston players there.
And the Dons have not been able to get anything on first down, and that puts them in the second and long and third and long situations, and they're going to be back to 3rd and 10 now. And they have not been very good on 3rd down, especially at this distance.
And 8 for Doniphan.
You almost think they're going to have to throw the ball here on 3rd and 10 because they've not been able to run it consistently. Harris pitches to Mills, and he drops it, and it's picked up by Charleston. Another turnover. And then it's fumbled again, and they pick it up, and they're going to run it in for a touchdown. I guess he wasn't down over there. It looked like he was down. So that's when the Dons start thinking, here we go again. But you can't keep turning the ball over. That pitch was behind him, and he was actually going to catch that and come over here to the right side and throw it because they've run that play several times. But Charleston gets another touchdown, and now the Dons are in a hole, someplace that they shouldn't have been if they would have converted in the first half. Eric Humphrey is their kicker. He's going to try to kick the extra point. They kicked the one on the first, and this one is going to be missed wide right, so it's going to be 13-0. And Charleston has scored 13 points, 2 touchdowns in the first 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. And one of them come off of a Dons turnover. And I believe that is 4 turnovers now on the Dons, and they just continue every game to turn the ball over. And this was a scoreless game at halftime, but they have scored quickly. And Charleston has definitely got the momentum, and they're fired up right now. As I said, when you lost like the Dons have the first couple of weeks, you're thinking, here we go again. But if you just take care of the football, you've probably got points on the board right now, but Dons haven't been able to do that. So it'll be Humphrey kicking off again. Actually, Humphrey's kicking off. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't Humphrey. That's Dirt. Is that 22 or 72? Is that 22 or 72? 22? Okay, well, it's Dirt, and he's the one that kicked the extra point, too. He kicks it deep. It's going to be Jordan White this time. No, Trey Mills catches it. He falls down, and he's going to be down right there. So nothing going right for the Dons right now. He lost his footing, slipped a little bit. The grass may be getting a little bit wet. I don't think there's any dew falling yet, but that's going to be all the way back at the 14-yard line, so the field position is switched here in the second half. And this is where the Dons have got to get it out of there, or they're going to start giving Charleston the field position that they had in the first half. And you know Charleston right now, their defensive players are all fired up because they come up with that fumble recovery for a touchdown. So 8:33 to go in the third. Alex Harris is going to keep it himself and going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it, if he got there. They were opening up some holes early in that first half on their run plays, but they have not been able to do that in about the last half of the second quarter and this first part of this third quarter.
Second down and a long 8 yards.
Second down and 10, maybe a 10 and a half. Harris drops back, quick hitter up the middle, and the pass is caught by Mason Day. And that's going to be, I think, a first down. A good play there, as that was a quick hitter. Day come off the line of scrimmage, was open, and he's going to get it up to the 36, 37, or the 27-yard line, excuse me. First down. And that gets them out of the hole a little bit. Now they just need to keep it going, keep the drive going. Keep moving those first down markers. 7.5 minutes left. Don's down 13-0 in a game which at halftime was 0-0. Harris under center. Takes a snap, hands it to Trey Mills. He comes off the left side, and he only gets about a yard or two.
Coming up the left side, stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Be 2nd and 8.
Looks like he, actually got a couple of yards there. That's going to make it 2nd down, 8 yards to go.
Reminder, next week we'll be back on YouTube as we'll be at home again. The Madrid County Central will be here in Doniphan. Actually, I think the next 2 weeks we have home games. I can't remember who we play the week after that. Dexter, week after next. 2nd down, 8. Harris is going to set up in the shotgun this time. And we got a flag.
We have a flag on the play.
And I think, looked like the official over on the line of scrimmage called offsides on. That'll move it up 5 yards. That'll help the Dons out a little bit. That'll make it 2nd and 3. They must have made contact because you can jump off and get back if you don't make contact when the ball snapped. So they must have bumped one of the Dons linemen. Dylan Hall getting ready to snap the ball back to Alex Harris. He's going to take off with it over on the left side. He's got a hole. He's out to the 40 and out to about the 46-yard line. Good game. As he got about close to 15 yards on that run. And actually, I'd like to see a little bit more of that, him running to the outside. And if he starts doing that, that'll open up the inside a little bit more. So 1st down at the 47-yard line, at their own 47. As they move the 1st down chains. We've got a couple of 1st downs so far on this drive. Harris back under center. Jordan White behind him. Trey Mills in motion. He's going to throw it as he gets the pitch. Now he has to tuck it and run, and he got a hole up the middle, and he's going to get over midfield down to about the 47, 48-yard line. And he done a smart thing there. He did not throw that ball into coverage. And he took off with it, and he got about 5 or 6 yards.
Recovered yardage by going upfield. Again, some good blocking by the offensive line. It's
going to be 2nd and 5.
2nd down, 5 yards.
5.5 minutes left in the 3rd. Don's moving the football in this drive. Couple of 1st downs. Have a 2nd and 5 at the Charleston 48-yard line. Harris hands it to Mills off the left side, and he's going to get down. Oh, he breaks the tackle. He's still going. Down to the 20, inside the 10, or inside the 20, excuse me. And he is tackled as he come out of the pack there. And he is hard to bring down. A great run by Trey Mills. And he is having another great game tonight.
1st down.
Mills, a junior running back for the Dons. And it's going to be down inside the 20 at about the 16, 17-yard line maybe.
I didn't know when to do it.
And another 1st down. That's the 3rd one on this drive, and that's a couple of big plays in a row. And the Dons inside the red zone again. And Rios almost fumbled. He did. Ball loose on the ground. And oh my goodness, those pitches are killing them. And I believe the Dons fell on it, but they're going to go backwards again. Every time they get something going, they either fumble it or have a negative play. And that was a negative play. Did they get the fumble? They didn't even point that way.
They didn't say anything. I didn't know to stop the clock.
Why did they not point when somebody? Well, Charleston come up with the fumble, so the Dons lost it again. So they shot themselves in the foot again. The official didn't even point that they got the ball. Well, they got it. The Dons were driving, and they lose it again on another fumble. Turnover number 5, I believe, in the game. A low snap, and Williams is going to be tackled in the backfield. I think he was down at the first contact. And the Dons doing a good job on that play. Going to make a 2nd down as they lost a few yards on that.
And a big play, big tackle by number 32, Tristan LaRue.
Line of scrimmage was the 22-yard line, and they're going to spot it back at the Yeah, it looks like 17 or 18-yard line, so they lost about 5 yards on that play.
2nd and 15.
It looks like it's at the 17-yard line. 2nd down. And the low snap to the quarterback probably helped the Dons out a little bit on that play. And another flag on the play. And that's probably illegal procedure.
Yeah.
And I like how that referee stands way down there behind everybody and gives a signal instead of coming out where people can see it. He didn't even signal when they fumbled, who had the fumble a while ago.
Against Charleston, the illegal procedure looks like 5
Now that's going to make it 2nd and 20 now.
2nd down and 20 for Charleston, deep in the Doniphan territory, or deep in their own.
Ball all the way back to about the 11-yard line. And the Dons again got a chance to do something here. Get the ball back, but they have just shot their self in the foot every time they've been down close. Roll out, and it's going to be another tackle, and that might be a safety.
Yeah.
See if they're going to say he was outside the goal line.
That's a safety.
Good play by Doniphan.
That was awful close. We're not even with the line, with the goal line. We're way up here in the middle of the field, so it's hard to tell, but it looks like they're just barely outside the goal line. That was almost a safety. Don's got one of those up at Kabul. And that's going to make it 3rd and about 30. 3rd down and 30. And they better make sure they keep an eye on Blessing Kimball right here. He's split out left to the left side, and Trey Mills is guarding him. And he hadn't done much since Mills has been on him. They're going to throw it long to him. And the pass is a little overthrown as he had about a half a step, but Trey Mills right with him. And they're going to have to punt, and their kicker is going to be awfully close to the line of scrimmage. So good job by the Dons, and helped out by Charleston committing some penalties. But a good job by the defense again. The Dons defense has done a great job tonight. Even though they're down 13-0, they've still done a great job. And the offense has got to catch up with the defense now. That offense starts playing good, you're going to see some good football games. And this one was a good one in the first half, but the Dons need to do something on offense. They're going to be running out of time. Snap back, kick is high, and it bounces back towards in favor of the Dons, and then it bounces out to the 30-yard line. And the Dons in great field position again. I just keep saying it over and over and over. They have been in the red zone I believe five times tonight. That's inside the other team's 20-yard line 5 times, and they have not scored. And they're at the 30-yard line of Charleston right now. They have 5 turnovers, best I can remember. And you just can't keep doing that if you're going to try to win a game. And this game right here was very winnable. And it still is. Score a couple touchdowns, get the extra points or 2-point conversion. But you're going to have to stick one of them in there sooner or later. And sooner would be better. 2:51 left, third quarter. Harris takes a snap, hands it to Mills, and Mills has got a hole, and he's going to get down close to the first down.
Harris pass off to Mills, number 33.
Mills has got several yards rushing tonight. I kind of wish Dalton was here to help me, and he keeps track of that. But
and 2 to go for Doniphan.
2nd down and 2, and they're almost in the red zone again. And I know there's not been a game last year or this year that they've had 6 trips into the other team's red zone. But they still have no points to show for it. But they got another chance here. 2nd and 2. Harris hands it off, and they fumble it again.
Looks like a fumble on the play.
And the ball's recovered by Alonzo Rios, but that's going to push them back, make third and
Rios able to recover the ball
about 6, probably 6 or 7 again.
3rd down.
My goodness.
About 7 yards to go for that first down.
They've actually fumbled a couple of times besides the ones they've lost, and they've got them back. But, boy, awful loose with the football. 3rd and 7. Harris in the shotgun. Passes it out on the right side. Mills, and he keeps his balance, and he's going to get inside the 25. It didn't get too much, but it could have been worse. And I'm sure Coach Stout will go for it on 4th down. They're going to mark it at the 24, and they've got to get to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down and 4. He done a good job there keeping his footing because he almost slipped. I don't know. He may need a different pair of shoes. That's the second time he's slipped here in the last little bit. Got to get to the 20. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter. Mills. Jordan White takes a direct snap. He's getting down and close, but I don't believe he made it. And that's going to turn the ball over on downs. So the fumble killed the Dons because they had a 2nd and 2.
Yes, it's a turnover now. Charleston has the ball.
If they hadn't fumbled that, they would have had a 2nd and 2. And well, they had a 2nd and 2, and then they fumbled back to the 27. And they weren't able to pick up the first down on 4th down, so Charleston takes over.
39 seconds left to go in this period. Ball set on 20-yard line, 21-yard line.
TJ Williams will bring the offense back out for the Blue Jays. And Moses Wells on his left shoulder. Takes a snap and a shotgun. Hands it off to Wells. Wells gets a hole, and he gets to the outside, and another flag down. And that's probably going to be a hold, and they've held several times on their running plays. He picked up about 15 yards on that play, but they're going to call it back. And that's going to put Charleston 2nd and 20, or first down and 20. And the Dons have a chance to put them back in that hole again and maybe get it back in good field position. Of course, it is just first down with the 10-yard penalty, but it's 1st and 20. They'll be back at the 10-yard line, and they have spent a lot of time down there close to the Dons' end zone when they've had the ball tonight, which is a credit to the Dons' defense and a few of their penalties. And they have got Blessing Kimball way out here, way out left.
Have you bump it up? Oh, they haven't told me nothing.
And Trey Mills is backed off of him about 10 yards, and they almost connected the last time they had the ball on a long one, and they've done that once tonight. A low snap again. The ball has to be picked up by the running back, Wells, and he's going to lose a couple of yards, I think. Well, we've seen a bunch of low snaps and when the teams have been in the shotgun, especially for Charleston. It looked like the ball was almost snapped straight to Wells, but it wasn't supposed to be, but he was there to pick it up. And the ball looks like it's at about the 9 or 10-yard line, so it's still going to be 2nd down and 20 or 21, something like that.
That's going to bring up 2nd down, 22 yards for Charleston.
And we got the official blowing the whistle, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So the Blue Jays score a couple of touchdowns, and they lead it 13-0 heading to the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute break.
Charleston 13.
Welcome back, everybody. We are headed to the fourth quarter. The Blue Jays got 13 points in that third quarter to take a 13-0 lead on the Dons. They are backed up about the 9-yard line. They're on 9, and they have a 2nd and 21 coming up. Dons trying to get the ball back and get it in good field position again. As they have, if you've been with us all night, they have had several opportunities with good field position, got inside the 20, I think 5 times, 4 or 5 times, and inside the 10 2 or 3 times. Pass out is caught. A nice move there by number 6, and he's going to get it out, and he's going to have a first. Well, he's going to be close to the first down. It's going to be a little short. Number 6, that is Brian Visor. And the ball is going to be marked at the 27. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Well, they got a big pickup there to make this a little more manageable. Dons need a big stop right here.
4 yards to go.
Kimball split out to the left and Visor to the right.
Show your support for your team.
And they've got Durden in there. And the ball is fumbled, and I think the Dons may have come up with it. And Jordan White's saying they got it. And Mason Day's come out of there with the ball. And again, no signal from the referees. What's he calling 4th down? Mason Day come out of there with the ball. And Mason Day's hurt. Well, it's 4th down.
Official timeout.
I can't believe they're going to go for this in their own territory at 4th down. And a 13-0 lead.
Field under his own power.
Well, I guess they're going to go for it. 10:49 to go. Biggest play of the game for the Dons right here. And he's going to run it himself, and he breaks the tackle, and he's going to get the first down. And he had in the backfield there for a minute. Jordan White couldn't get him to the ground, and he gets it out to the 35, 36-yard line, and he moves the chain. So the Dons had an opportunity, but they couldn't quite get him to the ground. As he is a very athletic kid. Jordan White had him around the ankles, but couldn't get him down to the ground. And that would have turned the ball back to the Dons, but instead, 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line for the Blue Jays. T.J. Williams takes a snap. He's going to throw it in the middle, and he hits Blessing Kimball, and he's going to outrun everybody. 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown for the Blue Jays. And you just can't let him get loose. And he's done it a couple times here in the second half. And that makes the score 19-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Another touchdown pass. That is the 2nd of the game for T.J. Williams. Well, the Dons had them 4th and 4 and had a chance for a tackle in the backfield before they got the first down. And they got the first down, and then they made them pay on the next play, as that was a 64-yard touchdown pass to Blessing Kimball. Extra point coming up here, and players run across the line and nobody hikes the ball. I don't know if it's offsides or...
Yeah, put it on 25.
Yes.
Yep, they're calling offsides.
It's done.
Which...
They get a yard.
Yep, they're going to move it a little bit. I started to say they might decline it, but in high school that makes it a little shorter kick. In college or the pros, a lot of times they decline the penalty and just leave it in the same spot. They're going to move it up to about the 8-yard line, so that'll make it an 18-yard extra point attempt, and it's up, man. It's good. And that makes the score 20-0 in favor of the Blue Jays.
20-0 with 10 minutes.
Folks, if you're just joining us, first half, the Dons, it was 0-0 at halftime, and the Dons had the ball inside the 10-yard line 3 times and couldn't get it in the end zone. In the last play of the first half, they had a 4th and goal from the 1, and they weren't able to get it in. It was actually after a penalty, they were at the 1 yard line, so there wasn't even any time on the clock, but a defensive penalty, you get to run one play, and they couldn't get it in, and that's when the momentum switched when they come back out third quarter. And Charleston is taking advantage of it, and they lead it 20-0.
Here they're coming with the quilt.
And the Dons have had tons of opportunities tonight. This is one of those games that you can say that the other games, most of them, they have just been out of it, but this one here, this one's going to sting a little bit if they can't come back and do something this last 10-16, because the Dons should have had at least 3 touchdowns in that first half, without a doubt. So, all right, we got, looks like Ben Rule and Jordan White back this time.
Back for Doniphan we have.
And the kick is deep. Boy, that's a long one. That's going to go into the end zone. Boy, that young man really booted that one down there. That's James Durden. And they're going to be off. Oh, no, the penalty's going to be on the Dons.
Charleston. We do have a flag on the field.
He pointed the wrong way if it's against Charleston. He pointed that way. He's going to have to re-kick it. He pointed it against the Dons. He's moving them back 5 yards. So he'll have to re-kick it. The Dons were going to have to start at the 20-yard line, but he'll have to re-kick it from the 35. But he has got a good leg.
Brings up a second kicking situation. We're going to take off 5 yards.
And the Charleston coaches, I think, are confused because he pointed towards the Dons, the penalty. There's been some confusion with the officials. I remember the same thing happened last year, a couple of games. So he's going to kick it again. That's Durden from the 35. And this one kind of squibs. A big hop picked up by Ben Rule. He's going to get it out to the 25, and he's going to be hit there. And they push him back, but forward progress should be up around the 25-yard line. I don't think they're going to give him that, but he got up to the 25.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a drawing for the 50-50. Thank you, everybody who donated money for the 50-50
They're going to mark it at the 23-yard line, so that's where the Dons will start.
The winning ticket.
And there's only been a couple of times tonight that they've even started in their own territory. They have been in Charleston all night long.
2-2. Again, winning ticket. 7.
Score 20-0 with 9:59 left in the ball game.
Congratulations.
And we got a timeout.
Go to the concession stand for the 50-50 draw.
Scored 20-0. 9:59 to go.
$50.
Folks, don't get discouraged. The Dons have played really good tonight. They just haven't been able to take care of the ball quite good enough on offense. The defense has played great. They're behind 20-0. But in the first half, they were great, and they've been pretty good in this half. But the offense is behind the defense right now. They're going to have to learn how to take care of the ball. And as soon as they do, some of these games are going to get real close, and they're going to win one. But they have got to quit turning the ball over. And they've got to stick it in the end zone when they get it down there close.
To the winners, and we appreciate everybody that helped support Doniphan football.
Well, the Dons have it at the, it looks like the 23-yard line, 22 or 23. And they'll have it 1st and 10. Don scored a couple of late touchdowns last week. I'd like to see him get one on the board here. Harris rolls out to the left. He's got a hole now at the middle. He breaks a tackle. He's out to the 40-yard line. Good run by Alex Harris.
Really good run by Alex.
He started out to the outside to the left, and he cut it back into the middle. He's seen a little hole there. And two of the Charleston players are down hurt. One of them was 10 yards behind where the tackle was made. I don't know if he got blocked or something downfield.
Bump it. Oh, he did.
And that's number 16 for Charleston. That is Suave Fitzpatrick, and he goes to the bench. And they spot the ball at the 39-yard line.
Ball on the 39-yard line.
16-yard gain for
10
Alex Harris. First down, 10 to go.
Come on, guys.
Harris. Oh, no, Jordan White takes the snap. Comes over to the left side and cuts it back up and gets about a yard. That has not worked. They've run that about 3 or 4 times tonight, and I don't think they've got over a yard any time they've run it. White is not very big, so he's got to have a hole to scoot through. And on the other hand, Alex Harris, he can kind of bowl over people as big as he is. They spotted at the 41, so it's a gain of almost 2. Second down, about 8.5. 8:50 left in the ball game. Harris in the shotgun, fades back, going to throw a long one down the field, and Kimball almost come up with a one-handed interception, but it falls incomplete. As there were about 3 or 4 white shirts around Trey Mills. Ben Rule out there in the middle of the field.
The receiver looked like Trey Mills, almost intercepted by Kimball.
He was wide open. It looked like to me that Harris got rocked on Trey Mills that time and didn't even look to the other side, but Ben Rule was wide open over there.
Ball's on the 41-yard line.
Going to be 3rd down and 8. Harris will come up under center. Passes out to Nowens-Urwanka, gets a block, cuts back into the center of the field, and we're going to have a flag as the play gets up to about the 44-yard line.
Nice catch.
Gain of about 3.
Urwanka able to gain a yard or 2.
And a holding call against the Dons. And we'll see if Charleston wants to take the penalty. That's going to be 4th down if they decline it. And looks like they're going to move it back 10 yards, so the Dons will get another play. I guess the Charleston coach probably thought that the Dons would go for it anyway. He figured if send it back, even it'll be a 3rd down, it would have been about a 4th and 5 if they had declined a penalty, but that moves the ball back to the 33, and they got to get out to the 49, so it's 3rd and 16.
Ready?
And the ball dropped again. They pick it back up, and Harris is going to run it up the middle. It took 3 guys to bring him down. They were trying to strip the ball out of his hands, and they couldn't do it. And he gets it up to about the 42. It's going to bring a 4th and 7. And the Dons are going to go for it.
4th and 7 for Doniphan.
They don't get it. They're going to give Charleston the ball in the Dons' territory. But right now, with this amount of time left, Dons got to go for it. Harris in the middle today, and the pass is incomplete. And that'll turn the ball over to the Bluejays on downs. He wouldn't have had the first down even if he could have held on to it, but he got hit as soon as the ball hit his hands.
Turn the ball over.
So Charleston will take over at the 42 of the Dons.
42-yard line of Doniphan.
Change of possession, yeah.
Just a reminder, next week, Dons will be back at home playing the New Madrid County Central Eagles right here in Doniphan. Game time 7 o'clock next Friday night. Blue Jays take over at the Dons 42. Got a chance to tack on some points here. And we got a timeout called by the Dons. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Dons trail 20-0.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri. We're for kayakers, car dealers, grocery baggers, and mail carriers. We're for teachers, preachers, students, and singers. Armed service members, you bet we're for you. We're for people who shake your hand and say hello, not because they know you, but because they don't. We're for brewmasters, stockbrokers, beauty queens, and truck drivers. And don't worry, we're still for farmers too. Whatever you do, if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
Welcome back, everybody. We're down to 7:46 left in the ball game. Charleston took over on downs after the Dons couldn't convert on a 4th down. They've got the ball at the Dons' 42-yard line. They lead 20-0. They scored 20 points here in the second half at a halftime score of 0-0. And T.J. Williams still in at quarterback. Hands it off, and back behind the line of scrimmage, the Dons are going to tackle him for about a 6-yard loss. And that was number 28, I believe.
Looked like a handoff to number 20.
Satyrus Moore,
Wiley,
a junior running back.
Flag on the play.
We've got a flag on the play. And usually on running plays, most of the time it's a holding call against the offense, but we'll see what the official says. And that's what it is. And the Dons ought to decline that penalty because they lost about 6 yards on that play. Why would you not decline that? Make it 2nd and 16 or 17 instead of 1st and 20. Why they got the ball right there? They tackled him back there. The officials are confused too. They tackled him at the 49-yard line.
No, you're not.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That's a bad spot right there, Don. Yeah. Well, they did decline the penalty. It's 2nd down, but it's only 2nd and 13. The ball should have been spotted at the 49. Anyway,
the penalty makes it 2nd down, 14.
Williams hands it off, cuts to the outside, gets around the corner, and another flag, and another holding penalty coming up on Charleston. I'm almost sure. Almost every running play, they've had a holding penalty. I'd take this one because you never know where to spot it at. Man. They will definitely take this one because he gained some yards on that one. But
Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston has had a lot of holding penalties on their running plays tonight.
Holding penalty against Charleston.
That's going to put it to where they have a 2nd and 23 or 24.
Mark off 5 yards, bringing it up 2nd down.
They got to get all the way down to about the 32-yard line, 33, somewhere along in there. And they are back at their own 46 now. 7.5 minutes left in the ball game. That time winding down slowly here all of a sudden. Williams surrounded in the backfield. He circles back to the right side. And now he's going to try to throw it down the field, and he overthrows number 6. That is Brian Visor. And he done a good job of getting out of heck of trouble there because he was surrounded. And he started to go to the left side and he ran all the way back over to the right sideline. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 20, about 22, something like that, somewhere along in there.
20 yards to go for that 1st down for Charleston. Make some noise. Let your team know you support them in this play.
All the players still looking at their wristbands to see what play they're running. And we got another timeout, this time by the Charleston coach. And all of a sudden we've come to a standstill here in the ball game. Charleston with all 20 of their points here in the second half.
Give a shout out to the
all those times the Dons got down right near the end zone and didn't get it in the first half. It's come back to haunt them here in the second half.
For the fine job they're doing tonight.
A couple of plays, Blessing Kimball has gotten open and been able to take it the length and He's just a
That's the count this up.
awfully good receiver.
About 22, 21.
So it will be third down and about 22, it looks like. I think they've got to get to the 33. 17 and 4, about 21. And they've got to get all the way down to the Don's 33-yard line to get a first down. It's third down.
Okay, Aaron, on yours.
They have not run one play tonight with T.J. Williams under center at quarterback. Everything's been out of the shotgun. He fakes the handoff, and they've after him again in the backfield. He's going to go out to the left side, throws down, and the pass is going to be incomplete about the 40-yard line. And the Dons is still getting after him when he takes off and getting some pressure on him. They cause him to throw an incomplete pass here.
Number 14. Simmons for
the pass was intended for Brian Simmons, and it was nowhere close.
Going to bring up fourth down.
So Quizzle will come out to punt, and the Dons will send Trey Mills back to about his 20-yard line. Quizzle's punt in the air, and Mills calls for a fair catch, and he takes it at about the 22-yard line. And that's where the Dons will take over. Like to see them get one good drive. Actually, they're going to spot that at the 24-yard line. One good drive here and get a touchdown before this one ends here. At times they've moved the ball pretty well, but they have just not been able to get the ball into the Charleston end zone. .706 to go in the game. Charleston with a 20-point lead. Trey Mills in motion. Harris going to roll out. Throws down the middle, wide open. Oh, no one's Walker. Let it go off his hands. He would have got a long ways down the field if he would have caught that one. Right at midfield, it went right through his hands. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Well, that was a good throw by Alex Harris. That was right on the money. That's the plays that you have to make. You gotta catch those because Dons don't move the ball very much passing the ball, and that one was right on the money.
Down and 10 for Doniphan.
Mills in motion again. Harris drops back. Now he has to take off, and he's going to be tackled back about the 21-yard line for a loss. As Charleston got in there quickly that time.
Hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a couple of yards. Going to bring up.
And we'll mark it at the
third down and 12 for Doniphan.
Like about the 22 or 23-yard line. They got to get out to the 35, so it's going to be about 3rd and 13, 12 or 13. They run that same play again to no one's Walker. Maybe he can get open again. Maybe a catch it this time because he was wide open. But Harris has got to have time to throw. He's going to run it himself, and he's going to cut it upfield, and he's going to get out, and he's still going. And my goodness, he carries the defenders with him all the way out past the 35, and he gets a first down. It is hard to bring down.
Grind out that yardage.
Wow, that was quite a run there. He picked up 14 yards on that play, and now we got a flag after the play.
Oh my goodness.
Did somebody do something silly? Gonna be after the play was over, there's a flag. And actually they look like they're pointing to Charleston.
I don't know if it's first down or not. I guess it is. They're giving him a first down. They doing anything with the flag?
I can hear you through the speaker.
Well, they got the ball laying on the 40. The first down marker was at the 35.
And it looks like we have a timeout.
Whatever it is only a 5-yard penalty.
Left.
If it's unsportsmanlike conduct or a late hit or something, it's more than a 5-yard penalty.
I think Alex got to the 40.
Did he get it all the way out to the 40?
I believe so.
I thought it was the 35 because I thought they had to get to the 35. It was on the 22, but whatever. The ball's at the 40-yard line. I guess they picked up the flag then. Official's getting tired of walking steps off for penalties, and he didn't pick it up. Now Dons have the first down on a fantastic run by Alex Harris. He picked up
to start play again.
about 5 more yards than what he needed. He got it out to the 40-yard line. And the Dons will have a first down. And Jordan White in at quarterback. Pass out, screen pass to Mills, and he dropped it.
Screen pass.
Those are simple plays that they've just got to get to where they can convert on them, because he would have got 3 or 4 or 5 yards if he'd have caught that ball, but went right through his hands. And he has made some fantastic catches last couple of weeks, and he just didn't look that one into his hands, I guess, because it went right through him. 2nd down and 10 from the Dons' own 40-yard line.
There's been a lot of slipping. I bet there's a lot of doing on the field.
Jordan White still in at quarterback. I think McGuire Balcom is in the backfield now. He's going to throw. He gets around the first blitzer, but the second one gets him. That's number 66, Nick Crizzle. And they lose 5 yards, 3rd and 15.
Tackle made by number 66, Nick Gristle. Loss of 5 for Doniphan, bringing up 3rd and 15.
And Alex Harris checks back into the game. Well, Don's got it out to the 40, and they lost 5 on that play. Harris drops back. Going to throw it outside and almost intercepted. Then it's caught by Gavin Thompson. And that is number 28 of Charleston. That is Zatyrus Moore, and he had 6 points. He just let that ball went right through his hands, and it fell into the hands of Gavin Thompson, who done a good job there of keeping his concentration on it to catch it. But they only gained. Well, they actually didn't gain anything. It's just still at the 35-yard line, so there's no gain. So 4th and 15, Coach Stout's going to go for it.
No, you're supporting them.
Alex Harris got to get it out to the 50-yard line for first down. He's going to run it, and he's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage, and Charleston will take over on downs.
Harris keeps the ball tackled at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a turnover.
In the second half, the Dons have not got much going on offense. They've had a few plays sporadically that have been good, but
takes possession of the ball.
That first half is where they lost this ball game tonight. 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes and 4 seconds, and Charleston will take over at the Dons' 35-yard line. TJ Williams still in at quarterback. And they have Moore in the backfield with him. Moore gets the handoff, takes it to the outside, gets around the end, gets down to about the 32-yard line, and he slips down, and then McGuire Balcom makes the tackle.
Williams to Moore.
And that will be a pickup of about 3 yards for Zatyrus Moore.
Bringing up 2nd down and 6 for Charleston.
Clock running with 4:35 to go in the game. Everybody on the field for Charleston looking at their wristbands to see what play they're running. Williams fakes the handoff, trying to go to the left side, and he's going to be tackled. Great tackle by Alonzo Rios all the way back, almost at midfield. And that is going to be a 17-yard loss.
Good second effort by Williams.
Williams should have thrown that ball away as soon as he got outside the tackle box. And they're going to spot it at the 48. And they've got to get all the way to the 25, so that's going to be 3rd and 23 for a first down. They spotted at the 48 instead of the 49, so it's 3rd and 23. And great play by Alonzo Rios. I'm going to brag on the Dons defense. They played good tonight. I know they're down 20-0, but they've given the Dons every chance in the world to have a chance in this game, but the offense hadn't been able to do anything. Pass incomplete. Intended for
going to bring up 4th down.
Number 31, Thomas Murray.
To go, 4th down.
And it's 4th and 24. And
ball on the 48-yard
they're going to punt it back to the Dons with 3:29 left in the game. So the Dons will get at least one more possession. And Trey Mills will drop back. And Crizzle will punt for Charleston. He gets the kick off, and that thing curved. And it's going to roll all the way down to the 5-yard line. I don't know if Trey Mills thought there was a penalty flag or something. He didn't even go after that ball. And that was a bad mistake because it rolled all the way down to the 5-yard line, and that's where the Dons will start.
1st and 10 for Doniphan on about the 5 or 6-yard line.
Something caught his attention because he didn't even go after it. Well, the Dons start this possession at their own 5-yard line. And it looks like Alex Harrison at quarterback. Jordan White on his right shoulder. Alonzo Rios back there as well. White takes the snap, passes out to Rios. He's got a little running room and a good tackle there, but he does get the first down out at the 16-yard line. And that'll move the chains. That Nick Crizzle, the punter for Charleston, he's been limping around this whole second half out there, but he's been out there. I don't know. Well, they spot it right at the 15. I guess that's not a first down because they didn't move the chains.
For Charleston.
3:10 to go. Jordan White to take the snap. Drops back, passes out to the other side. Catch made. And still on the up is Nolan Zerwalka, and he's going to get the first down this time as they move it out to about the 20, 21-yard line. So 2 screen passes, one to the left, one to the right. Dons have picked up 15 yards in 2 plays.
Oh, did he?
And there has definitely been some good signs tonight. That's just not being able to push that ball in the end zone the first half has cost Dons this game. But we'll try it again next week. It's just getting a little better every week. I'm really surprised that they haven't scored any points, though. Alex Harris in the backfield, he's hit, and he gets away from him, and he's going to get it back up close to the line of scrimmage, but he's going to lose a couple.
Tackled way back in the backfield, but was able to, with some second effort, get up close to
Charleston did a little better job of getting pressure here in the second half as well on the Dons quarterbacks, whether it be White or Alex Harris. Nearing the 2-minute mark in the 4th quarter. And they did lose about 2 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 12 from the 18-yard line. White takes a snap this time. Screen pass out left side. And then they're going to try. Trey Mills catches the pass, and then he tries to pass down the field to Gavin Thompson, but his pass is short.
A lateral to
It's incomplete.
Mills.
And I believe he'd have got more yards if he'd have took off with it.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 12.
3rd and 12. 1:45 to go in the game. Don's got home games the next 2 weeks before they head back out on the road again. They got New Madrid next week and then Dexter the following week. Coming here to Doniphan. Harris takes a snap and he's hit behind the line again, but he gets away. And he keeps dragging tacklers with him. He don't get but about 4 or 5 yards, but he is hard to bring down. And we are down to a minute and a half to go. And I'm sure the Dons will go for it here. They've got to get out to the 30-yard line, and the ball's at the 24, so it's going to be 4th and about 6 or 7 yards. And Alex Harris slowly going back to the huddle. He's took a beating tonight. Most of the time he's been dishing out as much punishment as he's taken, though. Minute to go. 4th and 7 for the Dons. White takes a snap, runs out to the left side, trying to get to the 30, and I think he's going to be just a hair short. Depends on where they spot it. And if he's short, Charleston will take over.
To get that 1st down, it's going to be close.
I think he had to get over the 30, and he spotted it just short, I believe. Yep, and it's a little bit short. So Charleston stops the Dons on 4th down again. Good try there by Jordan White. As he comes up about a half a yard or yard short with 47 seconds to go.
For the 1st down.
And we'll see if Charleston wants to try to add anything on here, or if they just take a knee. 1 or 2 plays and this one will be over. Well, Charleston has gotten all their points here in the second half, 20 of them. As we were scoreless at halftime. And they take over just inside the 30-yard line of the Dons.
Should be back. He's always messing off.
TJ Williams still back in the shotgun. 47 seconds to go.
30-yard line.
And he's going to take a knee. And they'll have to run one more play. So the Dons are going to drop this from 20-0. I know that don't sound too good, but they have actually played pretty well tonight. They, if they were just able to score a touchdown or two there in the first half, it might have been a totally different story. So things are looking better each week. And I know they scored 19 points last week, but I still think they actually played a little better tonight. Definitely on defense they played better, as they've only given up 20 points, all of them here in the second half. So Williams will take a knee one more time, and we'll be finished to this one, and he does, and that's going to do it. Our final score is 20-0 in favor of the Charleston Bluejays. They beat the Dons. They go to 2-1. The Dons go to 0-3, and they'll be back in action next week against the New Madrid County Central Eagles right here at Doniphan, as the teams go to midfield to shake hands. And if you're not able to come out next week, make sure you tune in to YouTube. We'll have the game for you right here at 7 o'clock next Friday night against the New Madrid County Central Eagles. Once again, our final score, the Charleston Bluejays 20, Doniphan Dons nothing. This is Keith Bowman. We'll see you next week.
New Madrid Central here at home for our